Coming up on DC News Now, it's a cold and windy Wednesday here in the DMV. Meteorologist Damon Matson tracking those powerful gusts this afternoon.
WSSE crews working to repair water main breaks will tell you how many have happened since the start of the year and how many there are right now.
Then a DC nightclub on the hot seat for hosting a kids' brunch party.
I think it's kind of inappropriate to encourage young kids drinking.
Parents speaking out against the business. Also, inauguration preps have business owners on edge. Locals react to the disruptive fencing and road closures across the district.
I've definitely taken TikTok and all the information that I can get at my fingertips for granted.
And social media creators' future up in the air. What a potential TikTok ban could mean for their bottom line.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us with the latest check in the forecast. And Damon, it's cold outside, but we can at least expect a winter warm-up, right? Again, in the context that it's the winter season.
I mean, exactly, Mark. We have not been getting a break at all from this Arctic air that keeps coming in and out, but for the most part, we've had colder days than not this month of January. Today is another one of those days, and it's the combination of some gusty winds and low temperatures that's really making it feel frigid out there. How about those wind gusts? Not the highest we've seen over the last couple of months. We've had worse, but still with enough wind to move things around 25 to 30 miles per hour at times. That continues to make those cold air temperatures feel even colder still. We woke up this morning to wind chills right around, if not below zero, across the entire DMV. It's gotten a little bit better, but the wind chill is only 18 right now in DC. How about 12 for Winchester, and then 7 as you head out toward Kaiser there and the mountains. And it's going to stay this cold and blustery for the rest of the day. We have a good amount of sunshine trying to help us out, but still, even those air temperatures won't quite get back to the freezing mark. So bundle up out there. You're going to need all the layers to get through the rest of the day today. Now, there is a warm-up coming, and then there's a storm system on the way for this weekend. We'll talk about how things will unfold over the next few days, what you should expect to be ready for coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. WSSC is still working to fix several water main breaks across Montgomery and Prince George's counties, and these frigid temps aren't helping. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile is in the Suitland area where crews recently fixed the problem.
WSSE crews working to repair several water main breaks. They were in the area here of Suitland, Hillcrest, working to repair a water main break at 11 o'clock last night. Here's some facts. Officials say there have been over 250 water main breaks since the start of this January. As of right now, there are about 50 water main breaks between Montgomery County and Prince George's County. WSSE says of the 255 water main breaks this month, 220 happened in the past week. The breaks aren't necessarily a surprise because they monitor the Potomac River, and when the river temperature hits a new low, there's an increase in water main breaks and leaks a few days later. Since the beginning of January, the Potomac River temperature has dropped about 15 degrees.
About 40% of the water mains in our distribution system are over 50 years old. So we have a significant amount of aging infrastructure. Those older pipes can be shocked, for lack of a better term, and that's when the breaks occur because they're used to water at a relatively consistent temperature.
WSSE says none of the breaks are quick fixes.
By the time we expose the broken pipe, understand what type of repair we're dealing with, it's about 4 to 6 hours from that point. And as I just explained, there's a lot leading up to that. So it is a process. Know that we are working as quickly as possible around the clock to repair service.
Riggins says they have extra equipment on standby and emergency contractors ready. And WSSC officials are reminding people to drive slowly and pay attention when they're in a work zone. They tell me one of their employees was recently hit in a work zone. We're in Prince George's County. I'm Tosin Fakile. Back to you.
All right, Tosin, thank you. And sticking with your weather, Montgomery County Public Schools announcing they are moving all outdoor activities inside. This includes recess and all physical education classes. That's after county officials issued a cold emergency alert last night. Anyone who needs a place to stay warm can visit libraries or recreation centers across the county. Developing now in Virginia, Fairfax County Fire and EMS say that one person is in the hospital with serious injuries following a house fire in Springfield overnight. Crews responded to the fire at the home on Long Pine Drive around 11:15. There, they found flames coming from the first and second floor of the home. One victim was sent to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. No update on their condition at this hour. Cause of the fire remains under investigation. Staying in Virginia, we're learning more about what happened in the moments leading up to a deadly home explosion in Sterling last February. A new report claims Loudoun County first responders did not have a full understanding of what was happening on the scene when they were heading there. They were also caught off guard when the incident escalated from a routine gas leak to an explosion. Officials say that there were delays in relaying critical information, impacting the effectiveness of response efforts.
There were a lot of radio traffic because everybody's trying to communicate at one time, asking for help, trying to rescue the two trapped firefighters that were trapped in a basement. So a lot of critical communications were trying to take place, and there wasn't enough people or even radio channels established at the time to handle it all.
Firefighter Trevor Brown was killed in the explosion and 13 other people were injured. Well, some seismic activity in the Commonwealth this week. A 2.8 magnitude earthquake shook central Virginia yesterday, and it happened just north of Richmond around 5:30 p.m. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake's epicenter was located just outside of Windham in Henrico County. Heavy hearts continue in Maryland, and firefighters in Montgomery County honoring Christopher Higgins, who died fighting a fire over the weekend. Yesterday, there was a procession to bring Higgins' body from the chief medical examiner's office in Baltimore to a funeral home in Pasadena. DC News Now's Christian Pena has more.
In the hearts of fellow firefighters and loved ones, Christopher Higgins' dedication stood out throughout his 2 decades in service.
He was very respected. Everyone thought he should have been at a higher rank, but Chris just loved the master firefighter role, and so he chose to stay there.
Higgins was responding to a house fire near the intersection of Bradford and Fitzpatrick Drive in Laurel around 5 p.m. Saturday when he collapsed. Despite receiving immediate medical assistance at the scene, officials say Higgins was rushed to a nearby hospital where he later died.
You didn't have to tell him anything. He knew exactly what was necessary, and he could kind of predict what your questions were going to be, and he would already have them answered.
Firefighters paid their respects, making stops at fire stations throughout Montgomery County. A heartfelt tribute full of sorrow and admiration for many of his colleagues who considered him a hero.
We were able to not only meet his family there to provide support, we were also able to have a little bit of peace and comfort with his shift mates and his co-workers. We were also able to demonstrate to the family, his kids, how important Chris was to us and is to us.
For many, he's not only remembered as a firefighter, but as a community member who always lends a helping hand. Chief Smedley tells me his team is currently planning more events to honor Higgins in the upcoming week, and will share that information once it becomes available. For now, reporting in Silver Spring, Maryland, I'm Christian Pena, DC News Now.
Christian, thank you. In the district, the suspect has now been identified in the shooting that sent 3 MPD officers to the hospital. According to DC Police, 45-year-old Derek Williams engaged in a gunfight with police officers in an apartment building. It happened near Union Market early Monday morning. Williams was shot by the police officers in the lobby of the building. He died at the scene. Police were originally called to the scene after neighbors reported a man with a gun in the building. Well, DC police are investigating an unusual package theft in Northwest. New video shows what looks like an Amazon delivery driver dropping off packages. We'll take a look. Someone else also wearing an Amazon jacket appearing to take off with some of the items. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg is in Cleveland Park with the story.
Take a look at this Amazon delivery driver loading packages to the Cleveland Park Cooperative. Neighbors here got the confirmation photos he took, but this other woman dressed in the same Amazon outfit followed behind him, holding 2 packages. She lingered on her phone as he did his job. He even questioned her. That's your call? No. That's your pocket? No. But he left, and a minute later, she opened the door for an accomplice to steal about 10 packages.
She tells the guy, I told you it was a lot of packages. She proceeds to walk over to the packages, grab as much as she could, walks out the door, and he takes the rest, and it shows her putting them in the car.
One of the packages stolen was a $200 snowblower Amy Alvear bought for the building. She's warning others to be vigilant.
Be very cautious if you know you're going to have deliveries, see if they can be signed for.
Alvear contacted Amazon and got the items replaced, but she places blame on the company.
They need to take accountability of what's going on. The trust factor is gone there, and then you guys just cover it up. Oh, well, we'll just send you the new stuff. Well, how much money are you losing?
Reporting for DC News Now, I'm Daniel Hamburg.
All right, Daniel, thank you. And to be clear, we don't know if the woman who was an Amazon employee, though she was wearing an Amazon jacket. A spokesperson for the company says they're looking into the incident and are working with DC police to help in their investigation.